Thank everyone for being here this evening. Appreciate on an abnormal evening. Monday is not one of our regular nights. Notice is hereby given of a public meeting and regular meeting of the Board of Directors to be held at 105 Port Road, Port Isabel, Texas on November 10th, 2020 at the hour of 5:25 p.m. for consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice is posted at the office of the district on November 5th, 2020 at 2:30 p.m. in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551-041-551-050, not less than 72 hours prior to the time of the said meeting. We do have the presence of a quorum. Present, we have Board Member Friedman, Board Member Dr. Lalonde, and Board Member Starkey. Please have everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes. Heavenly Father, again, we thank you for the great opportunity today, Lord. Thank you for the wonderful day you made for us. We just ask you to guide us and lead us in our work here with the Water District, that everything belongs to you. We're just your stewards to do the best that we can for the community and for you, Lord. Again, we thank you for all the blessings. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Moving along to item 3, invitation to the audience for public comments. Yes.
This comes from Mr. Avalos. It's just a memo for the board members. Closing remarks. It says, it has been an honor to serve the district these last 3 years. I would like to thank our staff, engineers, and contractors for all their cooperation in helping the board pass our recent bond. I know these projects will serve the district's customers for the next 20 years plus. Congratulations to our 2 new board members. You both worked very hard to acquire those positions and deserve the opportunity to serve our communities. As they say, I'm only a phone call away. Thank you very much. Mr. Avalos.
Very nice of Alex. I sincerely enjoyed serving and working with both board member Avalos and Houston. Look forward to working with our new incoming board members. Appreciate their dedication and service to the future of the Water District.
Scott, I just want to thank Alex and Herb and you. You guys really put a lot of work into getting the bond passed. So just a congratulations to the whole staff, all the work you guys put into that. It's going to be nice to see that implemented here over the next several years. It'll take a while to do all that stuff, but really looking forward to it. Everybody, big pat on the back. Excellent job. And I know Alex and Herb were out there at a lot of meetings. So, a lot of thanks goes to them as well.
Thank you to all. Any other comments, staff? Anyone else? No? Let's move along to item 4, public hearing on petition from La Cuesta Sol Development Limited for annexation of 51.45 acres out of 83.50 acres of the Bahia Point subdivision located in the city of Port Isabel, Cameron County, Texas. Charles?
All right. So this is the public hearing opportunity to present the Bahia Point subdivision, the additional 51.5 acres that needs into the and we do have the resolution from the City Commission of Port Isabel where they have a unanimous approval consenting to into the annexation for the Laguna Madre Water District. And then the petition is included in the in the packet as well. It's all pretty much in line with the correct meets and bounds description for the 51.5 acres, and then the terms of the fees. In this case, with the agreement that was already in place with the Garcia Dowdy interest that got assigned to this agreement, we waived the water rights charge, but we do have a plan for buy-in costs for the water and sewer plant, and those will get paid as each section gets submitted for its final plat. And so that's the schedule to obtain the annexation fees for this subdivision. But that's basically kind of the layout in a nutshell. If there's any questions, regarding the annexation request.
I don't have them.
Yeah, we can conclude this out.
Brian, you've reviewed everything. You're comfortable with all the annexation and all these stuff? Excellent.
Action item, right?
Yes.
So move.
Motion made by Mr. Starkey,
Second.
second by Dr. Lalonde. All those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None opposed. Motion carries. Thank you. It's going to be an exciting new era for the area. Item 5, consider and discuss for possible approval the minutes of the regular meeting from October 28, 2020.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Starkey, second by Dr. Lalonde. All in favor, none opposed. Motion carries. Thank you. Let's move on to item 6, consideration and approval canvassing the returns, declaring the results of the board's the district's board of directors election held on November 3rd, 2020. The official canvassing is, do I need to read the actual numbers of what this is?
Yes.
You gotta read all that? Good luck.
The canvassing of votes are as total cast ballots were 5,697 ballots total. Board of Directors place 2, Laguna Madre Water District. 3,512 votes were cast. Board of Directors place 3, Laguna Madre Water District. William Bill Donahue was the outcome of 2677. Board of Directors place 4, Laguna Madre Water District. Total votes cast for Mr. Walter were 1,832 votes. Proposition A, Laguna Madre Water District, was in favor of 3,464 votes. Includes total votes cast for the winning. That takes us, this is an action item.
Motion to accept, would that be the appropriate motion? Then
Motion
make
to
that.
accept made by Mr. Starkey,
Second.
seconded by Dr. Lalonde. All those in favor? None
Aye.
opposed. Motion does carry. Thank you. Welcome our new board members. Let's move on to item 7, consideration and approval of a resolution canvassing the returns and declaring the results of a bond election. We've already done that. The total votes in favor of the bond issue. The total votes were 4,917 votes, which took us to a winning position of 3,464 votes for a win. Need a motion to accept.
So moved.
Motion for acceptance by Mr. Starkey,
Second.
seconded by Dr. Lalonde. All those in favor, none
Aye.
opposed. Thank you. Motion carries. Item 8, administration of oath of office for newly elected board of directors.
This is where we do the swearing in.
I think on number 7, you have to go back and it has each board member to vote for and against. So
Say that again.
on the certificate.
A roll call?
The secretary, that page right there, we need the vote count from all the board members for for and against.
Okay. We did that prior, but page 1 is the,
on page 5, which is the
What is that in relation to?
certificate of board secretary. This is for item 7. Is that correct?
Yes.
The undersigned hereby certifies that on November 10th, 2020, the board of directors, the board of the Laguna Madre Water District, the district, convened in regular session and at its regular meeting place in the district. The duly constituted members of the board of directors are as follows. This is a previous. This is with the previous board members, okay? And all such persons were present except the following.
Well, you have a form.
So we have board member Starkey, board member Friedman, and board member Dr. Lalonde. All such persons were present except the following, Mr. Houston and Mr. Avalos were not present, thus constituting a quorum. Among other business considered at the meeting, an attached resolution, the resolution entitled, a resolution canvassing the returns and declaring the results of a board election and other matters in connection with therewith. Was introduced for the board's consideration. After presentation and discussion, the motion was made by Director Starkey that the resolution be finally passed and adopted. The motion was seconded by Director Dr. Lalonde and carried by the following vote as shown in the official minutes of the board voted for. The attached resolution is a true and correct copy of the original on file in the official records of the district. The duly qualified and acting members of the board of the district on the date, meeting of those persons shown above, and according to the records of my office, each member of the board was given actual notice of the time, place, and purpose of the meeting, and had actual notice that the resolution would be considered in the meeting, and deliberation of the aforesaid public business was open to the public, and written notice of said meeting, including the subject of the resolution, was posted and given in advance thereof in compliance with the provisions of Chapter 551 as amended Texas Government Code, signed and sealed on. Says Alex Avalos, Secretary, Board of Directors. I don't know why this would apply, but
You also need to amend the date. That's-
today is November 13th, November 16th.
So is it a roll call you want, Brian?
Well, that's what we should do, yeah.
Okay. So as it relates to the canvassing and selection of each position, or all of it as a whole?
All this.
Okay. And everything he read should be suffice for that roll call, right?
Yes, sir.
So Board Member Starkey is for accepting the canvassing.
Okay. Motion for Board Member Starkey in favor of canvassing, and seconded by Dr. Lalonde for. And motion also made by Mr. Friedman for acceptance of the canvassing. So all are in favor, none are opposed, therefore officially canvassed. Is that correct? Stated properly? Okay. That takes us along to item 8, is that correct? Administer the oath of office for newly elected board of directors. Who'd like to go first? Mr. Bill? You okay if I don't wear it? I can't breathe.
Yeah, I want to take mine off too, so we'll just stay like this.
You guys hot? You guys cold?
Oh,
I'm freezing
I'm
today.
freezing, yeah. You guys cold? Thank you, Eddie.
I breathe my hot air in that thing.
Those that don't know me, I'm Judge Benny Ochoa. Hey, we get excited when I list that. Well, now you know who to pay. But I'm very honored for standing here to call me to join me. They agree that I'll have free water for 1 year.
But only in jugs at these meetings.
But I'm very pleased that the bond issue was passed, because this is the only school district in the valley that we have a valley budget. And thank the one district. I served in 1978. And we helped the Walker Zimmerman, we were able to set the first sewer system in the island and the Vista. And I could see the growth in less than 5 years. How much the island will grow. Also, we're going to do that too, but we had a kind of budget. It used to water. Once you have water, you guys are thinking of the future, because I know that we're going to be all right. The only thing that hope we can change the Rocky Good plan, so that we can have a better tech base for school district. But anyway, that's going to repeat after me. Raise your right hand. In the name of the authority of the state of Texas, please, I, William Bill Donahue, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of La Buena Vista Water District or a director, place 3 of the state of Texas, and to the best of my ability, to serve, protect, and defend the Constitution and the law of the United States, so help me God. But the authority vested in me as the friendly judge for the Laguna Madre area, I've certified you as board member of the Laguna Madre Water District. Congratulations. Turn right here, please. Notary. Yeah, this is the. Your pen don't stay up. Here, I got one. Yeah, use this one.
Did you put the ring on him? You're on it.
Thank you. Take the bench.
Bill,
Well, come on up.
get whichever seat you like.
You really a winner tonight.
Congratulations
Just sitting next to me for 2 years.
and welcome.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Look forward to serving with you, buddy. Dave?
Mr. Bowder.
Good evening, folks. How you doing?
How are you? Welcome.
Good. I'm
Nice to
doing
see you.
well. Good
Hey,
to see you.
congratulations to you.
Doc, how you doing? Thank you.
And your father.
I'm here on behalf of my dad and I, but my dad was the one scheduled to be here. And he asked me kindly to take his place. I have some goodies that I'm going to give you, but I think we have some housekeeping matters first to attend to. So before we do that, let's administer the oath. Is that okay? So, in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, repeat after me, okay? I state your name.
I, David Bowder,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
of the Laguna Madre Water District
of the Laguna Madre Water District
Board of Director, Place 4
Board of Directors, Place 4,
of the state of Texas,
State of Texas.
and I will do the best of my ability
I will do the best of my ability
to preserve, protect, and defend
to preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and the laws of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Awesome. Congratulations, sir.
Had to bring my wife so she could point out where I was supposed to sign.
So, my dad wanted to send some tokens of appreciation for your public service and for your friendship. So he's sending this flag that was flown over the Texas Capitol in your honor, being sworn in as Board of Director for the Laguna Madre Water District on behalf of Senator Lucio and State Representative Eddie Lucio III, November 16th. Congratulations. I don't know, I think I should give this to your wife. If the meeting runs late, you know what to do, but this is also presented to you in honor of today's ceremony.
I told your dad this was going to my mother.
Oh, there you go.
She's so
There you
proud.
go.
So. Oh, yeah, sure.
Always good to
Congratulations
see
and
you,
welcome
Eddie. Thank you,
aboard.
sir.
Get home to your wife.
See ya. It's my wife's birthday.
Congratulations and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
You got the best seat, Dave.
I know, I
Come on
can't
up.
believe it.
Herb always said he was so proud to sit beside me.
And Bill lost the bet. He got Starkey.
So it begins.
Are we ready?
We're gonna take a photo.
Yes, please.
Oh, have a seat.
Sit down. It's like I'm at home already. Sit down, stand up, move left. Shut up.
Thank you. Oh, we got to swear you in again.
Oh, I was wondering what was going on. We have one more left.
Took the doctor.
The streak continues.
The only original board member still here.
I'd like to start off by introducing myself. My name is Benny Ochoa the Fourth. I'd just like to say it's an honor to be here. And I congratulate the board on the bond that passed, man. 70% is an awesome way to win, and I want to congratulate everybody that was part of it. I myself was on the committee.
Yes, you were.
So it was a great thing. We look forward to, the growth and the future of Laguna Madre. And God bless you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Freeman, please raise your right hand. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas. Repeat after me. I, Scott Freeman,
David Friedman,
do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of office of the Laguna Madre Water District Director, Place 2, I'm sorry. Of the state of Texas. And will to the best of my ability. Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll get it over and no, this is the notary.
Motion to move these meetings to visits.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your efforts and work with Bond.
Oh, yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I have, Mr. Lucio had to get on, but we have a proclamation I wanted to present. So Mr. Donahue, can you step forward, please? Okay, here we go. Mr. Lucio reached out to our office and his son had to go. It was his wife's birthday, so he asked me to present this to you. And I want to say it's an honor. Ever since I've known you, you've been nothing but a gentleman. And it's been probably about 10 plus years that I've had the honor of knowing you. This proclamation is in reference, of Mr. Eddie Lucio Jr. and the third. Let's see. Okay. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, to this certified that Honorable William Bill Donahue was duly elected and qualified for the Board of Directors, Laguna Madre Water District, Place 3. Under the laws of this state, with all rights, privileges, and annulments appertaining to office. Okay, I'll present this to you, and this is on behalf of Senator Eddie Lucio. And we got a couple gifts as well. And it's an American flag that was flown over the state of the Capitol. And I think this goes to the wife. Or you might let me borrow that one, David. That's for you, and thank you for your service. You can probably
Get
do
the
that.
better half from there.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Somebody tell.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Lucios that I never got
Thank
a
you.
gavel.
I know, man.
I never, you get a gavel?
I was a little jealous, but that's okay.
I never got a gavel.
Well,
We'll get one when you run again.
are we allowed to speak out of turn or no?
Does that conclude? Do you have something you want to say?
Yeah, I didn't speak in public minutes, but I want to thank the Ochoas for the service that they represent that was done on behalf of the bond. There's a committee that was made up of a lot of our community members, prominent members such as the Ochoa family, that did a lot of meetings and went to great length to not only inform themselves but to inform our community. and in large part because of service that people like that did, the bond passed. So I just want to say thank you on the record to them and all those that were on that committee.
Well stated.
I did send an email to all the bond committee members, thanking them for all the hard
Thank you.
work they did. for
Thank
us.
you, Carlos.
So, yes, as well as the board members. Received the email.
Moves us along to item number 9. Is that correct?
Correct.
Recognition of former directors for their contribution of service to the Laguna Madre Water District.
Yes. Let me just show you what, this is
That's nice.
for board members Alex Avalos and Herb Houston. This is what they get for serving the water district as board members. And it's a nice one and heavy one, but it's,
Well done.
yes, well done job for what they did for us.
Very nice.
Thank you, Carlos. Or Daisy. Daisy's probably responsible for all
We'll
that.
deliver those tomorrow or the next day.
Thank you.
We'll get to see them. So that's all the recognition that I have from them, and I just want to thank them for all the hard work they did for us. And we'll be around. If we need anything, we're here to
Thank you.
help them out in water, whatever they need.
Let's move along to item 10. Consider and approve the reorganization of officers and committees list.
I nominate Board Member Friedman for president.
How about just chairman?
Chairman.
Sherman.
Chairman, president, director, head of the table. Whatever the title you've had, I want you to keep it.
Honorably and willing to serve, and I appreciate. Thank you.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Starkey for Chairman Friedman and seconded by Dr. Lalonde. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None opposed. Thank you. It's my pleasure to serve as capacity of chairman. Thank you. That takes us to
Vice Chairman.
Chairman.
I would nominate Dr. Lalonde for that responsibility.
Second. Motion made for Vice Chairman by Mr. Starkey and seconded by Mr. Botter. For Vice Chairman, Dr. Lalonde. Are all in favor?
Aye.
They are. None opposed. Motion carries. Thank you. Welcome, Vice Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
That takes us to
Secretary.
Secretary.
I make a motion that we nominate Mr. Starkey as secretary.
Be a good looking secretary, that's
Motion
for
made by
sure.
Mr. Donahue to select for secretary, Board Member Starkey, seconded by Dr. Lalonde. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are.
Thank you.
None are opposed. Motion carries. Thank you. Look forward to working with you as secretary. Congratulations.
Thank
you. That takes us to, we're going to do the committee list.
I would suggest we did as we did when Adam and I came in, wherever they fall, they fall.
What do you
Does
mean
that
by
make sense? You know, the whatever place used to, like Alex and I were the RFQ committee, and, you know, just fill in the blanks. Unless you want to move to a different committee,
I have no problems.
we can just keep you where you were, keep Adam and I where we were, and let them fall into whatever committee they fall into. That's what y'all did to Adam and I when I got here.
Yes.
But I agree with that. Makes sense. Easy. You
Make
guys
it-
facilitate that for us, Carlos?
We can do that. Yes.
Okay.
I recommend that.
Do we need a motion for that, or that's just something you'll do?
A motion.
Okay, so I don't know how I'm gonna word that, but the motion would be to keep committee responsibilities associated with their respective seat as we move forward the next 2 years.
Motion made by Mr. Starkey, seconded by Dr. Lalonde. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None opposed. Motion carries. Thank you.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, he just signed up for
Wait 2 years for that motion.
Meetings for meetings. Let's move along to item 11, General Manager report, Carlos.
Yes, I usually report the COVID updates every 2 weeks when we have the board meetings. So as of right now, I can't see the number up there, but we've had 10. This is for the last month. This month, Mary? Yes. We had 10 tested, and then out of those 10, 7 were negative and 2 positive, and these are employees, okay? And then pending results are 2 of them that are waiting until they're over it, and 1 has recovered. So that's the update for today. We're still trying to follow all protocols that we have in place: washing hands, safe distancing, wearing a mask. You know, try to do as much of advocating for safety, and we've been doing this since the early part of I think it was March. So we'll keep doing it as long as they've been asking when do we open the front doors. I said nope until they find a vaccine for it. That's when I feel safer that we can open the front doors. Right now we just drive through where they do the payments or contracts, whatever they need. Anyhow, we'll keep doing what we're doing and try to emphasize safety and follow through until everything is taken care of. So only God knows when. Anyhow, on the next one that I have is the next meeting will be next week. So I was gonna recommend that if the board is okay with it, I talked to finances and staff, and they can wait until December the 9th, the next meeting. That recommend to cancel the 23rd, which is next week, and we need to.
I have a conflict the 9th.
The 9th?
Do it a different week.
We did it the following week.
We can do the 16th then?
Yeah.
Wednesday, the 16th?
16th, how does that look for you? I know we're getting into a weird month now.
I can do the 16th. I can do any week but that second week conflicts.
Okay.
That's fine, 16th it is.
So.
Because that way we're not getting into Christmas. If we just meet once in December, I'd be
Yes.
okay with that
I
too.
think that's what we
Meeting on the
have done in the past
16,
2
and
years,
then, yeah,
3 years. I think we've done it for
That's how
more
it's
than
been
3
on us
years.
for a while.
okay.
So if y'all decide to
Donahue,
do
you
that,
good
we
with
can
Yeah. I'm good with that.
decide on it today.
You don't get a vote, you're new, so.
So,
I can do it. We can do it.
I changed seats.
Yeah.
yes. And normally, we always meet on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of the month. So you can be aware of that. So we'll
Meeting-
cancel next meeting and then come back on the 16th in
5:30,
December and have the,
And I'm available if you need me or if
if anything changes, we'll contact you guys right away if for any emergency or special meetings that we might have.
Just a standard meeting, right? 5:30, no workshop, no.
Regular, no workshop, just a regular meeting.
Not that Adam would get
Standard.
here on time for anything early.
I would like to have a workshop probably.
It'll be in
get
January,
everyone Caught up,
yes.
yeah.
We'll,
Get
well,
everyone caught up.
I can mention it now. It's scheduling anyhow. Want to schedule a workshop, January, the first meeting in January and come up with a capital improvement plan, CIP, for the following 2-3 years that are coming up. And make sure that all the board members are aware of all our needs and our finances that we have available. And we probably have to get our, once we decide on prioritize all the projects that we most need. And we'll get our financial advisors in to see if we can utilize some of our fund balances.
So that-
And I would encourage a windshield tour for the new board members, site tour and everything.
We did,
that's going
we
on.
took one already.
You've already done that?
Of both plants, yeah.
Very nice.
If y'all have any other questions, or we can do it again, and I think we went all the way to the river pumps.
We did both plants. We didn't go to the river pumps.
Never, okay, that's what we need to do then. But we'll schedule that as
Okay.
soon as,
I highly recommend that, see everything and touch everything.
it'll be like a half a day. From maybe 8:30 to about noon.
I will have some questions with Eddie. We were talking about finance when we had lunch together. So
Yes.
okay, I get them on that.
Okay,
And that,
And-
sorry,
and I think he's gonna explain everything tonight that we've talked about on the finances.
that's the
So make
16th
it
at
simple.
4:30. There'll be a workshop. Is that what you're saying?
On what?
January.
No, January,
Oh.
no, that's just way ahead in
Just a
January.
regular meeting.
First meeting in
First
January.
meeting in January. Okay,
Right, December the
Thank you.
16th is just a regular meeting.
understood.
I don't wanna too much, take time away from you guys. But anyhow, yeah, that's what I have, and we'll follow through if you wanna go ahead and schedule those meetings.
Okay.
Okay,
That takes us along to item 12, Director of Operations report. Thank you, Carlos.
Thanks, Carlos.
thank you.
The battery's going out of this. On the mic. Mr. Chair, members of the board, the October service call and call out report is before you for the benefit of the new members. Service calls are calls that are made from outside to the water district and are received by the dispatcher and customer service. And they're assigned to the department that would be able to handle that. And more than likely, it's either the collection or distribution department. Call-outs are calls that we receive after normal working hours, and they come in through the emergency dispatch number, and that goes to water plant number 2. The operator on duty answers the call, and he assigns that to whatever manager's on call for that night. The managers are usually on call for a week from Monday through Sunday. They will call the complainant or the person that called in to find out what the problem is and go out and investigate and determine what needs to be done. And if the crew is needed, he will call in the crew members at that point. These calls are categorized in distribution, either customer service or distribution, sewer plant, or follow-up, or call-outs. And they are subcategorized into the different types of calls that are taken, whether it has to do with the water tap, these occupant change or anything like that. And these are calls that are listed on here. Last year, on October of 2019, we had a total call of 290 for the distribution area. For October of 2020, the total calls were 222. I don't know if you see anything in there that you may have a question. Feel free to ask. On the next page is the collection calls. And again, these are categorized into the different categories and then broken down into subcategories. Calls for last year totaled up to 58, and for this year were 87. On the bottom of that is a pre-treatment in this station. We started this just within the last 4 months. This is an area that we felt that needed additional attention. We were having a lot of problems in the lift stations and at the wastewater plants with a lot of debris that was coming in. So we assigned a manager and 3 individuals to this department, and they look into the lift stations, clean them out. The manager also contacts with new FSE, which is food service establishments. And this month, October, he contacted 1 new food service establishment. The existing food service establishment, he made contact with 3 of them. And a lot of these are food service establishments that, without knowing, they're neglecting the grease traps, and so they're going out there and having to police them and asking the food service establishment to clean it up. He's had 3 just recently that were in really bad shape, so they've gone out there. We do have some policies that they have to adhere to, and there is some monetary attachments to these policies if they neglect to clean their grease traps. And so that's why he's making contact with them to make sure that they're taken care of. And that has helped the wastewater department in that we don't have as much grease going in there. We were having a lot of grease. We were getting calls to where we have to go out there and clean out the sewer lines because of all the grease that was going in there. So it's being managed a lot better now. Again, I don't know if you had a chance to look at this or if you have any questions on this.
I've got one question.
Yes, sir.
The maintenance or added microsolve that's lift stations we talked about where you put the microsolve in there to get away the smell or things like that. How often is that done?
Done daily, it's pumping continuously. Robert, you can explain
They
that.
have a container, a 55-gallon drum that they have in there, and every so often, it's like on a timer, it releases the Microsoft in there.
So is the call, then you just change the drum out? Is that-
Yes, sir. And a lot of them are like in the shorelines, they go out there and they wash them out, they clean them out, and they pour Microsoft collection department goes out there and they pour Microsoft in there to help the not only the smell, but the grease, to dissolve some of that grease that's in there. Yes, sir. That concludes my report at this point.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Chairman.
Let's move on to item 13. Charles?
All right, so I always try to tie the engineer's report to some of the action items and the other things going on. And being that we have 2 orders adding land, figured it'd be a good time to talk about our annexation policy and maybe even the district history for our new board members. And so in the backup here, I have an attachment, which is our standard history, that first page, where the Laguna Madre Water District, which was originally named Cameron County Freshwater Supply District Number 1, was created through the County Commissioners Court on December 5th, 1950. And then we became converted to a municipal utility district October 23rd, 1973. And then finally on November 8th, 1995 is when we changed our name to Laguna Madre Water District. And the name change was just to prevent any confusion with the county and have us known as being an independent, municipal utility district. And that's really the history of how we transitioned to where we are today. And then what I did is the following page, I had included the original district boundary that was created by Meets and Bounds in 1950. If you want to scroll down to the page, is there a page before that? Here we go. So basically, this is our boundary, which if we're looking, starting off at FM 510, that westernmost boundary is at 10 Hunt. And then we have the 40-acre tracts, from Old Port Road up to within Laguna Vista Club subdivision, North Line. And then as we come over to Buena Vista Road, our boundary goes all the way down to Highway 100. And then at the intersection of FM 510 and 100, Stripes has gone through annexation. And that line that kind of comes down to the abandoned railroad right away is more or less halfway around Paradise Cove. And then from there, we hug the south end of Rutherford Harding, which is Laguna Heights. And then that next jog down further south, we have pretty much the entire Garcia Dougherty interest that our own south of Port Isabel is inside our district, as well as all of Long Island Village is inside our district. And so that was how we were originally created, back when this district was formed, and including all of South Padre Island up to, I guess, south of the shores. And then if we go into the next page, you can see the annexations that have occurred over time. Includes the, Pinell tract, the shores, and then several tracts. It becomes more of a checkerboard on the north end of the island. But the landowner has to initiate that request for annexation. And by doing that, they're agreeing to participate in repayment of bonds. And then we have a policy in place to allocate water rights, because water rights, it's the authority to divert off the river. We're 100% surface water. The river's oversold. And so whenever we need to increase demand, the right to authorize diversions off the river, we need to acquire that. And it's a one-time cost up front. And you pretty much you acquire it from agriculture and you convert it to municipal, depending on the type of water right. That's basically how the process works. So that payment is established at the time of annexation based on their master plan. And so that's one of those things, is how we control, maintaining a balance and making sure we have enough water to meet our customer demand. And so that's something that's part of the annexation policy to manage. And then also the other part of those fees is they buy into the water treatment plant and they buy into the sewer plant, which is part of what's included with the Bahia Point annexation that we're looking at approving today. And then if there's any offsite extensions, that would be part of their cost as well. And so I suppose the last page on here is just the proposed boundary with the 2 orders that are up for consideration at today's meeting. I'm going to scroll down to the next. So basically, this would be our proposed map that we would issue, presuming the orders get approved today. And that Laguna Vista Eco Park is this little 23-acre triangle south of the old part of town of Laguna Vista, south side of 100. And then the 51 acres south of Rutherford Harding or Laguna Heights, that would be the full Bahia Point development. All the single family homes and then a proposed apartment complex as well. And so that's what the action items that we're looking at, taking action on here at today's meeting. But that pretty much sums the report, unless there's some questions.
Thank you, Charles. Let's move on to item 14. Consider and discuss for possible approval order adding land described as 51.45 acres out of the 83.50 acre Bahia Point subdivision located in the city of Port Isabel, Cameron County, Texas.
Yeah, in this order, we're recommending approval. We've had the public hearings, so this is our chance to take action. The owner's present, if you'd like to say you have any information to add or.
After many years we've been working on this, we're very much looking forward to getting this project started. And I may address the board. My name is Kevin Campbell. I'm with Request of Soul Development. We started this project, like I said, about 5 years ago, and I just want to say we work with water districts all over South Texas and some farther north. And the staff here, it really needs to be commended. They've been very accommodating, as well as this board. Every problem we've had, everything that's come up, this board has been very accommodating and easy to work with. And I wanted to thank y'all because it's not always that way. There's a lot of them that are much more contentious, and I've never felt any contention. This has been a smooth process. I really appreciate the effort. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell, for also investing in our community. We appreciate, and you're making a huge investment. And we appreciate, and we're thankful to be working with you.
Yeah, as well. Likewise.
And yeah, just to mention, we have revised the order for the signature page. They did it for the 16th and the new board members as well. So that's ready. Yeah, the original's there in the signature folder, which yes.
The correct names and everything on it?
Yeah, we weren't sure how the vice chairman and chairman would get assigned, so that can get written.
Great. A motion to approve.
Motion for
second
approval by Dr. Lalonde, seconded by Mr. Starkey. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. They're not opposed. Motion carries. Thank you again. Thank you again, Mr. Campbell.
Thank you.
Good luck on your project. Let's move on to item 15. Consider and discuss for possible approval the quarterly investment report for quarter ended June 30th, 2020.
I just want to briefly go over the investment report. As you can see in the June report, our current yield is at the end of June was 0.74%, and the quarterly interest earned in the quarter was $41,000. You see that this report shows that the market went down significantly in March, and if you see in the next report, in the September report, you'll see that our yield has maintained a little bit higher than that because of our laddering strategy, which has been our strategy right now. As a governmental agency, we're limited in the types of investments that we can do. So we have money markets, we have pools, we have CDs. The type of investments, the highest ones earning at this point is CDs. So our strategy is to ladder out those maturities and have money maturing in those CDs periodically throughout the year, and that helps us maintain our a nice yield whenever there's a downturn in the economy. Are there any questions?
To follow up on what we were talking about earlier, maybe we should have a financial workshop and discuss that. When you can set something up.
Sure.
We're talking about parking some of that money somewhere that's a little more lucrative.
How much cash did we have on hand?
At the end of June, we
18.3.
had 18.3.
How much of that is earmarked? And how much of it is just cash we have in our account isn't earmarked for any?
Well, if we go through, I can explain.
Can you explain page 7? That's where you have all the accounts in there?
Yeah. Let me go through. Okay, if you look at the page 7, I can explain what all those funds are. So if you go through and look at the June, next page. Again.
Fund allocation?
Yeah, it says fund allocation, book, and market value for June 30th, 2020. Okay, so our money is, some of it is unrestricted, some of it is restricted. Some of the restrictions are by action of the board. Some of the restrictions are by either laws or other governmental entities that have ties to that money, and the way that we got it restricted for particular purposes. So the money that's in that one that says general, that's our general operating account, and that money is primarily unrestricted. The next item is payroll. That's designated for compensation of employees. The water system development charges, those are earned on water taps, and that money is designated for future water infrastructure projects. Sewer development charges, those are earned on sewer taps, and that money is designated for future sewer infrastructure projects. Meter deposit payables, those are customer deposits. So we hold on to that until they've fulfilled their financial obligation, or they have a certain payment history. If they have a good payment history, then those can be refunded. Universal tax bond reserve, that is money that's legally required to be held until the final payment of those outstanding tax bonds. Revenue bond reserve, that's money that's legally required to be held until the final payment of those revenue bonds. The waterworks and sewer system revenue notes, that's an account where we accumulate money to pay debt service payments. So that's money that comes in from our general revenues, water and sewer system revenues, and we periodically make transfers on a monthly basis in anticipation of making the next debt service payment. The universal tax is the same thing, but it's for our tax supported debt payments. We accumulate the taxes in there as they're collected from the taxpayers, and until we accumulate enough to make the next debt service payment. The water rights account, that we've already closed that account. That was money that was used to make our last water rights purchase. The water infrastructure.
What's our current water rights?
I think that's a one page.
You know how many?
You're in the
7640.
That's
7640?
Yeah.
We're talking about the June report. We haven't gotten to the September report.
So we added how much last year? 1,000? I thought we were like.
No, this last transaction was maybe 100, 150, somewhere there. Yeah, so because we get prorated, so under drought conditions, I think we get cut down to 5,700. So
What's the most we've ever used?
Oh, about 6,000 or so. We're pretty much at like using 99% of our under fully prorated drought conditions. But that's what we do. But under normal conditions, which is where we're at right now, we're like our authorization is about 7,500, and we use about 5,700.
It's usually in July when that happens.
The water infrastructure rehab, that's basically funding ongoing capital improvement projects. That's for water projects. So currently that's like our clarifier rehabilitation projects. Sewer infrastructure project is capital, the account that's for capital infrastructure projects for sewer. Emergency fund is for is just there to recover from disasters.
When was the last time we spent out of that fund?
2008, 2009, Hurricane
Hurricane
Bobby.
Dolly.
How much do we put in every year?
We have not been accumulating anything. $2 million was put in there. The rest that's in there is interest that it's earned since 2009.
Is that required?
It's not. That was something that was created by the board.
They're unrestricted then?
Yeah, it was just created by the board of directors. The board of directors could do
Just a reserve?
Yeah, do what they want with that. It would have to come back to the board of directors to spend that money. The tax bonds, that was money that was already spent. Texas Water Development Board escrow, those are accounts. Those are the proceeds of bonds, and so all that money is designated for our current lift station rehabilitation project.
Okay. That would answer my question for that 2019. 4.959, that's the lift station rehabilitation allocation.
Correct. That's the revenue bond that was issued in 2019, the 5.4 million, and that's the proceeds that's left in there.
So between emergency and general, we're at just about 9.5 million of unrestricted cash.
Yeah, emergency fund is designated for emergencies. The general fund is unrestricted.
Thanks.
So we have some money.
Thank you. We do need a financial workshop.
Yes.
So we can deeper.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any other questions about the June financial report?
Need a motion to accept or acknowledge?
Acknowledge. Motion to acknowledge made by Mr. Starkey. Second by Dr. Lalonde. All those acknowledging?
Yes.
They are. Mr. Bonner? Mr. Bonner? Yes, they are. Motion, all have been acknowledged. Let's move along to item 16. Consider and discuss for possible approval the quarterly investment report for quarter is September 30th, 2020. So moved. Motion to acknowledge made by Dr. Lalonde. Second by Mr. Starkey. Are all those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
They are. Everyone has acknowledged. Motion carried.
After balancing all those accounts, managing all the money.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Let's move along to item 17. Consider and discuss for possible approval of the purchase of the gas generator for the main office.
Gas generator.
Mr. Smega's not here.
Oh, yeah, I guess I can cover this one. Yeah, so basically,
What kind of gas we talking about?
natural gas. Yeah.
Natural gas comes to curb here? I didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a gas line, be extended. And, there's a pad where we've already ran some conduit, and we're planning to do a natural gas generator here. And we've already done the engineering. We know we need a 80 or 85 kilowatt generator. And so we had done this through some buy board proposals. And then we took it out for bids, but bidding it out didn't improve the price. So really,
What kind of generator are you getting?
Generate.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah.
That's a good one though.
Yeah.
How far away is your drop? Is it like-
Well, the services are here in the back of the building.
Okay.
And so pretty much we're putting a whole new, there's I think kind of 4 services because we've done additions on the building. So we're improving the service, putting a new automatic transfer switch. And then on the other side of the parking lot is where we're placing the natural gas generator.
Okay.
And then Texas Gas to run the service line out to it.
What's the cost? I don't have that.
The request is for $107,402.
How big is the generator?
85 kilowatts.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
And
what
then,
it is.
yeah, we'd have full backup power for the main office.
It's nowhere near that, yeah.
5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is for the,
Generacs are about 9 for residential, 10, so that would probably be far. for
yeah,
commercial.
it's the generator, it's the pad, it's a new electrical service.
Who's supplying it?
Let's see what's there.
You're going with
Oh, LJ Power.
LJ
Yes,
Power.
we're
Where are
recommending.
they out of?
I'm not
No,
sure. It's not attached. Yeah, I know they had started trying to promote this AXA generator, And we had our electrical engineer review and going into the detail. We're paying the premium for the Generac just for it has a better quality with the startup.
Carlos, you ever been through the power being out here?
Yes.
Yeah? Daisy's shaking her head like, yeah.
Yes.
Carlos,
Approve this. It's scary.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yeah.
Is that the most we've been without power is here for about 5 days? And that's just in this facility, right? That's not anywhere else. Doesn't affect water delivery.
Well, it really another critical infrastructure is our servers and having that backup power to maintain our communications.
Yeah.
I mean that's then with all that,
With the smart meters now, it's going kind of.
The last few times that we had a power outage was like a full day, like about 3 times last year.
The past year, we've had full days, I would say about 3 or 4.
3 or 4
full days.
What came up recently to warrant this request, I guess, would be my question. If we haven't gone without power for some time.
Actually, the computers are out, lighting.
They people. Okay, yeah.
Yes, the ones that were working on the new poles.
One crazy question. Would you rather have 2 new employees or this generator?
For right now, the generator.
What if it wasn't for right now? What if it was for like the foreseeable future?
well, this is a capital investment, to maintain. And this is also our incident command location. We need to, get it back in recovery mode for a hurricane, and we should have that power.
Hurricanes are getting bigger.
And more frequent.
Yeah, and more frequent.
We're going to be stingy moving forward, just as a shot across the corporate bow. And this is a microcosm of that. But I hear you. I mean, I always want to support you guys. I can tell from Daisy and you guys, this is important to you, so therefore it becomes important to us. But I just want to take this opportunity to let everyone know and echo this message across the district. We're going to start really combing through these financials, with a finer tooth comb. But with that being said, this is an action item, correct? I'll motion to approve.
A second. Approval made by Mr. Starkey, that's a second by Mr. Donahue. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
They are. None are opposed. Motion carries. Thank you.
So when the power goes out, I'm coming here, Daisy, is that correct?
We'll have power.
Let's
We'll
move
be able to
along
receive the call.
to item 18.
Cold water still.
Consider and remove from the table the following item tabled at the regular meeting on October 28, 2020. Consider and discuss for possible approval of order adding land described as a 23.02 acre tract in the town of Laguna Vista, Cameron County, Texas, also known as Laguna Vista Echo Park Subdivision.
So moved to remove.
Motion for removal by Mr. Starkey, seconded by Dr. Lalonde. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. The item has been removed from the table. Item 19, consider and discuss for possible approval of order adding land described as a 23.02 acre tract in the town of Laguna Vista, Cameron County, Texas, also known as Laguna Vista Echo Park Subdivision.
Yeah, and this is the full subdivision, including the ecotourism center, plus the future development for the 13 acre tract. And so, the petition and the recommendation in place is to assess fees once development's known for that 13 acre tract.
Okay.
And so that's
That
basically.
protects us for fees moving forward.
Right.
Whatever that 13 acres.
Yeah, yeah. So once that development's known, we'll determine the water rights and the buy-in for the water sewer plant. And then the offsite utilities are being constructed through that EDA contract with the town. And the one item that was holding this up was this resolution, which they did pass, and so we do have that approved. And so it'll be included. It'll be a revised attachment to the petition that'll go get recorded at the courthouse, and then along with this order as well.
I'm ready to make a motion, but out of respect for our new board members, if you guys have any questions regarding possession of that, then so moved.
Motion made by Mr. Starkey,
Second.
seconded by Dr. Lalonde. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None are opposed. Motion does carry. Thank you. Item 20, consider and review expenditures from October 16, 2020 through October 31st, 2020. Need someone to acknowledge these. Any questions about anyone in particular? Acknowledged by Mr. Starkey. Acknowledged by Dr. Lalonde. Have all those acknowledged? Yes. They have. concludes the end of this meeting. They're all acknowledged. Item 21 takes us to an adjournment at 6:36 p.m. Meeting is
Pictures.
adjourned.
We doing pictures.